Hello, everyone. Thank you so much for being here with us today. My name is James McCarty, and I'm the Associate Director of Admission here at the Johns Hopkins School of Education. I am excited to be here with all of you today to chat about our Masters of Education for Teaching Professionals, or as we like to call it, TeachingWell program. Um, that's a very long name, so we like to shorten it to TeachingWell just to keep things moving. But it is a pleasure to be here with all of you today. Just to kick things off, today's webinar is really a general information session. We're going to talk a little bit about the program. You're going to hear from the faculty perspective, the student perspective. I'm going to chat a little bit about admissions, financial aid, and we want to make this as much of a discussion as possible. That being said, today's session is a Zoom webinar, so you can see and hear us, but we cannot see or hear you. So please feel free to utilize the Q&A function at the bottom of your screen and ask questions throughout the presentation. We want to make this as interactive and as much of a discussion as possible. So please feel free to submit any questions that you have, and we're happy to jump in and answer them. And talk a little bit about what we're going to cover today during our presentation. What you see here on the screen is really just kind of an overview for Johns Hopkins University. Here at for us, the Johns Hopkins School of Education, we are one of 10 schools within Johns Hopkins University at large. So we are a piece of the larger Johns Hopkins puzzle. And again, you can see some information about our school listed here on the screen. We offer just graduate programs, so master's degrees, doctoral degrees, and graduate certificates. And we are one of the younger schools within Johns Hopkins. We were founded in 2007, but Johns Hopkins has been offering education courses for well over 100 years. So I'll say we're new in our current form, but we are not new as far as education goes at Johns Hopkins. I always like sharing, we are very proud to say that at Hopkins, we were the first research institution in the United States. And that history really kind of centers for our core, our mission. Everything that we do kind of functions around research. Our teaching is based off of research, and that really impacts your experience as a student. The cutting edge research that our faculty are doing impacts your experience as a student. I also always like to share, we're very proud to say that this past year we were ranked the 8th best school of education in the world by the U.S. News and World Report. So again, very, very proud to have that accolade and to be able to share that with all of you today. And lastly, I always like to just talk a little bit about kind of the point that we're at. For us at the School of Education, we're in a very exciting transitionary period. Physically, our building, the education building where we normally reside, is located about 2 blocks down the street from the Johns Hopkins Homewood campus. That Homewood campus is, if you would, the main campus location for Johns Hopkins. And for us, the School of Ed, again, our normal building is located about 2 blocks down on the same street. We're very happy that our building is undergoing a full renovation. It is a gorgeous historical building in Baltimore, but it was time for a little update and renovation. And the building is undergoing a full renovation, top to bottom. So we are displaced somewhat. Some of our offices are located at the Mount Washington campus. For TeachingWell, we have space and location on the Johns Hopkins Homewood campus. And some surrounding buildings. So I share that with you because it's a time of transition for us, but it's an exciting time of transition as we kind of go through the process of our building renovation. I am going to stop chatting and pass things over to my colleague, Dr. Mary Ellen Badio-Farrell, to introduce herself. And then joining us today, we also have Camille Steely, who's a student in the current student in the TeachingWell program. So Mibo, feel free, take it away. And thank you for being here with us today.
Thank you, James. Thank you, Camille. And thank you everyone who's here on the call. This TeachingWell faculty and staff page is one of the pages that has probably changed the most over the last year. As James said, this is a brand new program. Our first cohort started in May of 2024, and Camille is a member of that cohort. we are attracting all kinds of attention, as you'll see on this page, from faculty and staff who work at Johns Hopkins. And as we go through this info session, I'll be referring to everybody that's on here in one way or another. So, you know, if you look, you'll see that there are professors, there are literacy instructors, there's a career and development and life design person, there's a wellness instructor. So, you know, we're attracting all kinds of good people who are working in the program with our students. So if you want to move on to the next.
Yes, sorry.
Too
Too many
I can keep
pages of
talking to you about everybody here.
Sorry.
So James has already mentioned that the name of the program is TeachingWell, and you know we took a long time to make that decision. You know, what do we want to name this program, and how can we make it clear that it's distinctive from other teacher preparation programs? So Hopkins has been in the business of teacher preparation since its beginning days. We were a continuing ed school called McCoy College, and we prepared people to be teachers, and that's been a long time. We have a history of teacher preparation programs. This one is new, and the way we've been thinking about it is it's, you know, a more holistic approach to people who are interested in being educators. So you'll see that our program goals and outcomes really are looking at our learners, people that want to be educators, as whole people, and helping everybody in the program develop so they understand themselves as learners, teachers, and as humans with lives that extend beyond their work as a teacher. We also want them to have the same kind of understanding about their own students as well as their community in which they're working. The content that this program has developed is focused on is STEM. So that is one of the really important pieces of this. For those of you who are interested in being a STEM educator, and that would basically include math, science, and the sciences, for middle and high school, this program is the program for you. We are spending a lot of time making sure that our applicants and our students in the program have opportunities to continue to grow in their content through many, many pathways. So it's not just that they're in a class on a Wednesday night for 2 hours, but it's that they can, you know, perhaps work with a faculty member in arts and sciences and assist with teaching a course to undergrads. So lots of opportunities to grow your content. The other part of this program is really focused on helping you develop as somebody that is designing your life, your professional life and your personal life. And I'll talk a little bit more about that as we move through the slides. I don't think we necessarily have to play the video right now, James. We can kind of skip that for this round. So if you're asking yourself, are you someone that should pursue this program? We've tried to answer this in 4 short ways, and obviously this probably will not hit everyone's interest, but at least we want you to know that in order to be in the program, you really do need to have some kind of STEM experience, a background in STEM. And that can look different for people depending on where you're coming from. It could have something to do with what you studied as an undergrad or a graduate program. It can also include experiences you've had in the workplace. So just to emphasize that this program is for STEM. We also know that based on everything we see and read, that teaching has become a more complex and challenging position to hold. And we know that we would love the people that are coming to this program to have really a strong interest in facing the challenges that we're facing in education. So this is not the program that it used to be. We really are trying to bring to our coursework and to the experiences in the program opportunities for our students to learn how to work with students in classrooms and talk about and face challenges that we're facing. The areas of certification are listed there. So just, I'll read through those. You can be certified in middle school math, middle school science, or high school biology, high school chemistry, high school environmental science, or high school physics. So those are the options. for certification in the program. And then the last part of this slide basically focuses on having the opportunity to build a strong network of educators in the program, starting from the very beginning and running through the entire 5 years. This commitment you would make if you become part of this program is a 5-year commitment, 1 year in coursework, and then 4 years teaching in one of our partner schools. So that's another piece of this. We believe that that network is going to be what sort of helps you grow as a professional and help you to stay in the profession and learn to love the profession. Okay. So a few elements of the program that we like to highlight in these information sessions are represented in these bubbles. And as I just go through these, I will stop before I start going through them and introduce to you our current student, Camille Staley, who was with us today. And one of the questions that I've asked her in advance to think about for this information session is why she decided to choose TeachingWell as her pathway into becoming an educator. So Camille, if you would like to do a quick introduction and then spend a few minutes talking about how you would answer that question.
All right. Thank you, Mary Ellen. Hello, everybody. Thank you for joining us today. I'm so excited to be speaking with you all, as I did not have the opportunity to join one of these sessions when I was applying. But I knew immediately upon finding this program that it would be a great fit for me. I graduated from Miami of Ohio in 2023 with degrees in data analytics and sociology. And I started working in education at a district office on the research side of things, but I knew I wanted to pivot into teaching and transition into the classroom as quickly as possible. A lot of programs out there that get you in the classroom quick are terribly intensive, expensive, and they often lack the necessary support to help you thrive and actually finish the program. And I was looking for something that would be supportive and offer a good balance of getting through to the classroom quickly while having a structured, supportive environment. And obviously, Hopkins has an amazing reputation, as you heard from James earlier. The School of Education is one of the best in the world. So a combination of the reputation of academic excellence and the environment I knew I was getting into really solidified my choice to apply to this program. And I've only been in it. We started mid-May and we became in person this last July, but it has already been incredibly transformative. I have learned from amazing instructors who have had long careers in education and are still currently in schools in the field of education. And I know that I have had a lot of growth both professionally and personally.
Okay, thank you, Camille. We are very happy to have Camille. She is probably, I would say, a high level of enthusiasm. She'd get the enthusiasm award so far. And has lots of questions every week and is always a bright spot in my week when I get to see her on our Wednesdays. So we'll talk a little bit about the schedule too as we move through. And I'm going to do a quick run through of these highlighted features of the program, and then we'll stop and see if you have any questions. I will tell you that Camille has class this evening, so she will be leaving us about halfway through the program. So I just want to let you know that. Anyway, so as I've mentioned, we do believe that part of the distinction of this program is focused on recruiting strong candidates, developing candidates into becoming professional educators through a strong network of individuals. So already Camille could tell you she has a mentor teacher in a school that she's working with. She has an expert science and math educator in that building who is also overseeing her work. She's in classes with faculty some who are working at our state department, some who are working at our university in science and math education. She also has now had an opportunity to work with a wellness instructor. We had a class last week where we learned about breathing, the importance of breathing in our lives. She's also had a session with our career counselor educators on learning about how to start to think about how will you design your own life as an educator. So, and soon, before the program, but it will end for her in the summer. She'll be the first group of alum. And we, plan to make sure that the alum from their program are going to be connecting back to the next cohort that comes in. So a lot of ways to network and grow your professional network in the program. And for 4 years after Camille finishes this program, we will continue to work together to support her in ways that she needs as she in her early years of teaching. So many, many opportunities. I've already mentioned the wellness piece. So that's a big part of the program that we're looking at each student in the program and making sure that we're talking about wellness, and that can be both personal and professional. Hopkins also has many, many resources for wellness that are available and important, I think, as we move through the program. I'm gonna go up to the top. I've already mentioned too that there are opportunities for you to continue to grow in your content. And many of those are what we call experiential learning. So again, you might be able to teach something with co-teach something with somebody in the undergrad school. We've also had a field trip to our applied physics lab. So all kinds of experiences that are sort of in a menu of items that you can select and personalize your own content development. And one of our faculty members, who is a STEM educator and been in it for years, is the person who sort of oversees that piece of the program. We also partner very, very closely with Baltimore City schools right now. We are planning to add another partnership this year, and that more to come on that. And so what a partnership means is Baltimore City has also provided funding for this program. So I know James is going to talk more about that later, that this program there is no tuition that you have to pay when you're in the program. So if you didn't know that, that's probably one of the most important things that you need to know. But we are partnering with 3 schools right now, and we've made sure that everybody is in we have pairs of students in buildings. We don't want you to be by yourself, so you have somebody from the program, but you're also becoming part of a school community in addition to the Hopkins community. I've mentioned, but I'll say it again, the 1-year program is a summer, fall, spring, summer. So 4 terms that you're actually on campus with us taking coursework. You're also doing an internship in the school, so you learn how to be a teacher alongside a mentor. And then once you finish the program, there are 4 more years of support. Already we know when Camille finishes, we'll be planning monthly meetings with her cohort. So we'll continue to meet with them for her 2nd year of the program and on a monthly basis. And again, those kinds of meetings will be personalized and also targeted at the needs that they have in that first year of teaching. Closely related to the work in your schools, we like to think of the support that we're giving. We call it a whole teacher support. So again, we're looking at you as an individual, and we're looking at you both professionally and personally, and want to work closely with you as you move through this process. Our aim is to recruit, prepare, and retain so that people who are in this profession feel good about it, are healthy and well, and learn to love and be successful as they become educators. So I'm going to stop there and see if anybody that's on the call has any questions for us while we still have Camille.
Not seeing anything in the queue. Oh, look at that.
We have
Susan said
one.
that. Perfect timing. All right. So first question. If my undergrad degree is in elementary education, but I have an interest in getting my master's in the math realm, is this a program that you'd recommend, or is there something that's a better fit?
That's a good question. I mean, my answer would be if you've already have an education, if you've already have a major or a certification. I don't know if you have certification, but your undergrad was in elementary. There would be a lot of overlap probably in the coursework. However, I wouldn't say it's out of the question, and I would suggest that you, if you look at our website, there is a place where you can send your transcripts to us. And so the first step, I would prefer not to turn you away based on this question. I would say, send your transcripts in and we'll look at them. And then we can even have a follow-up conversation with you. We have a person who is our recruitment coordinator, and she would follow up and have a call with you. So that's what I'd recommend.
And as we continue to chat, I'm going to put that link in the chat for everyone, so that way you
Thank
have
you.
access.
Great.
It'll be the first bullet point on the page that I will send in just a moment. But we received another question. How do you anticipate that the program will change or evolve over the next few years since it is so new?
Good question. And Camille, feel free to jump in because you might have ideas of how you think it should evolve. So I'll say a couple of things. We will definitely have a larger cohort. Our first cohort was 8. We recruited 8 students. We now have 7. And we do plan to, we're as a goal, doubling that size for the next year. So growth in numbers. Potentially, again, building stronger partnerships with the city, schools, and adding additional partners. So right now we're looking at a school system just outside Baltimore. We do place a high priority on looking at schools where they're the most challenging schools that we would be working in. So that's just important priority for Johns Hopkins School of Ed and for this program. Potentially right now we have tuition is covered, and then there's a living stipend. Over time, we would like to continue to increase that stipend so that people are, can live comfortably during the first year of the program. So right in this past year, it was between 10 and 20,000, and we are working hard to increase that as we move forward. Camille, do you want to jump in? Is there anything that you want to say that you already think we should evolve?
I don't have anything new to offer. I agree that I think and I hope the program will grow in size, both the students that are partaking in the program as well as the schools and possibly districts that we're partnering with.
Thank you, Camille. We did receive another question. Actually, 2 questions. This is great. So first, if I'm graduating from with my undergraduate degree in May of 2025, would you recommend joining the program for the next cohort starting in summer 2025, or waiting a year before applying to the program? Mibo, I mean, I have my own response.
Go ahead, James. Take it away.
So I encourage students to continue on that educational journey. I think for a few different reasons. So first, with our program, with our program having a summer start cohort, you can very easily finish your degree in May of 2025 and start with us, shortly thereafter, a few weeks after graduating. The application, which I'll talk about this in much more depth later on, but the application is open and live, and so anyone can apply as we speak. When you apply, you'll submit a current transcript that you have, and you wouldn't have to submit a final transcript showing that you have your degree conferred until basically after you start in the program. So you can go through the process, you can apply, you can, get accepted, finish your undergraduate degree, graduate in May, and then start with us right away, a few weeks thereafter. I think from a bigger picture perspective, another reason why I would suggest doing that is you're in the mindset of being a student currently. I know that this differs for everyone, but I think this program is a very highly specific program. The total commitment of 5 years. Being with us for the first year, it is structured maybe a little differently than other programs. So I think, for someone who is a student, who is in that mindset, that mentality, it is, I think, a seamless transition going right from your undergraduate degree into our master's program in TeachingWell. So I think, I would say definitely, it is possible, and I would highly recommend doing that. Dr. Beatty-O'Farrell, do you have anything to add? Any?
I just would say that we work really hard, that, the number of people in the program who, to help you with the transition. We do want to get better at helping people with housing, as we move forward. That's another evolving piece. But, I do think that we are here, to be as helpful as we can to help with that transition. We have a couple of people this year who, right out of undergrad, we have a couple who have a year off, sort of looked around, and then we have somebody changing career. So it's so great to have a mix. But yes, I would say definitely apply.
No, thank you, Lee. But yes, I do also, sort of on the flip side, yeah, I don't want, our attendees today to think that this program is only for individuals coming right out of undergrad.
Right.
We accept students from, all different points in their, professional and
Mhm.
life experiences. So,
Right.
please know that it's not just for students coming right out of their undergrad. I just wanted to use that as an example based off of the question. So,
Yeah. And our career counselor staff are meeting with us every month of the program this year. So they come to meet with us every Wednesday. And that's where we're working on the life design piece. So you're looking at where you are, where you're headed, what some of the obstacles are, and strategies for solving problems and getting to where you want to be. So that's another part of the program which could help anybody that's in the program. I see Camille starting to move around. Do you want to answer that last question, Camille? She is going to.
Yes, I am just relocating real quick. I had to get rid of my study room, so bear with me as I'm mobile on this one. Um, but okay, Josie, I said you are asking how the program has been so far. I can honestly answer that I have been enjoying this program so much. It has turned my life around, and I hope you guys can hear me okay as it's a little bit chattier out here. But currently, the schedule is I'm in the classroom 4 days a week. Right now, I'm at Hamden Elementary Middle School. It's been a blast. So we have classes twice a week in addition to that, which has been keeping me busy, but everything you learn in class is directly applicable to the work in the classroom. So we did start this summer. I know Mary Ellen said that it starts in the summer, fall, spring, and then another summer. So beginning over the summer before the school year officially began really helped me ease into things, and I believe that my cohort would agree as well. But now that the school year is in full swing, I personally think I've learned more in the last month, 2 months, than I did in an entire year of working in a different aspect of education. And also the STEM focus has been incredibly valuable. And I think I appreciate the most that there's also room to explore other certifications on top of your STEM degrees. So obviously, I didn't mention this, but I'm getting certified in math. However, on top of that, I want to potentially get a special education certificate and a gifted education certificate. And so there's a lot of overlap between the pedagogical skills that you learn and a lot of room for growth. So I feel like I've just begun scratching the surface of what there is to offer. But yeah, I can honestly say it has been a very good use of my time.
I would say it's been a wonderful use of my time too, working with you. Thank you, Camille. I know you need to get to class. I think it's math methods tonight.
It is math methods, which is taught by the math coordinator of the state of Maryland education department, which is very exciting. And um, I feel very lucky to be in that classroom with him. I will say that. But thank you all for having me. I hope James, Mary Ellen, you guys have a great rest of the session, and all of you in the audience. We look forward to receiving your applications.
Thank you,
Thank you
Camille.
so
See
much,
you
Camille.
tomorrow. Okay, how are we doing here?
Should I advance to the next
Yeah,
slide?
I think we're good. These are just a couple of snapshots of things we've started to do, and I just wanted to emphasize that, there are at least three worlds you're living in when you're in the program, because you're part of the Hopkins community, and you can see that. in the bottom slide, the bottom half, where we go to do our work for career and life design is called the Imagine Center. It's this very, very innovative space on the Hopkins campus where there's all kinds of different spaces for meeting with other students, working by yourself. And that's where we have our class with the career counselors and life design coach. So that's a picture, a snapshot of everybody. You'll see everybody is on sort of like hassocks and sort of a much different classroom space than is traditional. We're in the community. We're doing social events. We did go to a Baltimore Royal baseball game in the summer, and that's our happy faces at the baseball game. So getting out to learn about the community in ways other than just about the schools is also important to the program. And then the top left picture is actually Camille's in the middle there, and the other two interns at their first day when we went out to visit Hamden and meet all the important people that we needed to know at that school. And they'll be placed at Hamden until the middle of December. They're in math and they're in different classes. They're in the middle school, obviously, either in math or science. And there's a coordinator in the building that coordinates their placement. So that's one of our partner schools. It's in Hamden, for those of you that know Baltimore. It's right, maybe a couple miles from the campus. So just to show you a little bit about what's happened already, that's that slide. Any questions? We have mentioned the financial aspect of the program. I did want to mention that there is a really outstanding academic opportunity for anybody who has an undergrad degree in a STEM field. We have received from National Science Foundation a grant, the Robert Noyce Teacher Scholarship Program, that provides a $10,000 stipend to anybody who meets the requirements. And essentially the requirements are that you have a STEM major. Stephen Pape, our faculty member, is the person who directs that. And if you apply to the program and once he's seen that you have a STEM major, he would contact you about also applying to be a Noyce scholar. It comes with extra funding, like it says. It also comes with participation in a couple of conferences where there are other students and other faculty who are doing the work of recruiting and building the STEM field for educators. And also, again, it's another opportunity to build network with other people who are STEM educators. So this is a really great opportunity for anybody who's interested in applying to the program and has a STEM major undergrad. I think I've touched on all these things, but I'll just, I think we mentioned, again, it's 39 credits. The first year, you're earning your 39 credits. It's a full-time program. We have mostly in-person classes on the Homewood campus. We have a few online classes. Again, summer, fall, spring, summer. And then we have tuition support and a stipend. I won't read the certification areas, but those are the areas that right now we are able to certify you, and we've been approved by the Maryland State Department of Education. If you complete the program, you have to select one of these to be certified in, and then that becomes your study, your focus of study. And then when you complete the program in the second summer, you are certified, and then work with the school system and in this case, Baltimore City. And if you're successful in everything that happens in that first year, then you would be hired by Baltimore City to teach a STEM subject and make a 4-year commitment to continue to work in Baltimore City for 4 years. Any questions about that?
Yes, we do have some questions that came in.
Okay.
So first, from Roger. Roger asks, when would certification tests need to be passed? Also, do you know the test codes that Maryland requires?
Yes. So we are working as a group, as a cohort to take the test. So we're having study sessions, and then the test would be, we are I'm going to say students will register and take the test in this early spring. So that by the time they finish the program in summer, they've passed all the tests. If they have to, in the event that someone fails one of the tests, they have the time to retake it. So they would still be ready to be hired by Baltimore City in the second summer. Yes, if you look on the website for Praxis, their Praxis exams, and you look under the state of Maryland, and then you select the subject area, you can find out the codes. However, if you want to write to me, I can also send those to you through email, but they are available on the Praxis website.
Thank you, Dr. Video Farrell. We actually have a lot of questions that came in. So if it's okay, if you're all right with it, I'll just kind of ask those.
Yeah, sure.
We'll do like a mini Q&A. Great question, Roger. I also just have to digress and say it's great to see so many names of people that I've already connected with. So I'm excited to reconnect with so many of you today. And for those of you that we haven't met, I look forward to connecting with all of you in the coming weeks. So great question, Roger. Next, Josie asks, so we'd apply to the Noyce Scholarship after applying to the TeachingWell program, but before we hear back about acceptance into the TeachingWell program.
Would you hear back on that decision? That's a really good question. Yes, you would hear back before. It would be part of the acceptance package. You would hear that, yes. Obviously, it's important because it's another $10,000 stipend, which would make sense that you'd want to know that. And it's also an honor to be part of that organization. So yes.
Thank you. Next, would you have to work in Baltimore City, or is it possible to teach in a surrounding area such as Annapolis?
At this moment, we are partnering with Baltimore City. So, and I don't expect us at this point, well, I'll just say at this point, we aren't working with Anne Arundel County. So that would be, that would mean we would need to develop another partnership. And we, I love Anne Arundel County. I'm from Anne Arundel County, but I definitely at this point think that probably would not be one of our partnerships for this upcoming cohort. It would be Baltimore City. We're also looking at another school district, but it's not Anne Arundel County. So, yeah,
another question that came in that's sort of a follow-up to that. What would happen if a student could not complete the 4 full years in Baltimore City public schools?
Good question. That conversation is one that you would have with Baltimore City's public schools. It would not be with us. And I don't have a response for that right now, but we sort of are awaiting more information on that. So my suggestion would be, if it's definitely something that Baltimore City would handle and we would not handle it. But so I don't really have I can't give you the details of that at this point because it hasn't happened yet. So, yeah.
If I can also just add a little bit to that. I think too, it's important to share and understand. So, I mean, this partnership, really starting this program, it's a partnership between us, with the Johns Hopkins School of Education and Baltimore City Public Schools. And a large portion of the funding that we've received to allow this degree to be tuition supported comes from Baltimore City schools. So just to give some context, that is why our focus is through Baltimore City. But also because that is the community that we reside in. This program is supposed to kind of reflect giving back to our local community. And through this partnership, we are located in Baltimore. We're partnering with Baltimore City Public Schools. Through that partnership, they're helping us to fund this program. So again, I share that just to give some context about, kind of the parameters to this program and how things kind of piece together.
Yeah, and thanks, James. I think it's important to note that this is new, as you're saying. So we expect that, before December, I would say, of this year, we will know more about what it is they're going to ask of people if they don't keep the commitment. So I think they're still trying to decide that. And again, They're a large school district, an urban district, and this, school year just started. We're new. So we're still working out some of the details of the program, and that is one of them. So I would say it's something we should be able to tell you by December.
Thank you. And the last question that we received, up to this point, if I am certified to teach in the state of Colorado and have passed the praxis tests, how does that translate to Maryland licensure and tests and the tests for the state of Maryland?
Yeah, there's reciprocity with a lot of states, so I would have to look at that. So I think the best thing would be to send it and contact us with an email to state exactly what you've done, and then we can get back in touch with you and let you know.
And
So
that's perfect, Dr. Beatty-O'Farrell.
Yeah.
And for everyone, at the very end of this presentation, I'll have contact information listed on the final slide. So just, as far as getting in contact, I'll have that contact information at the very end of this presentation.
Yeah, and as many details as you can send is helpful too, so that we can give you an accurate answer.
Thank you. Great questions, everyone. I appreciate that. Again, I like this being much more of a discussion. So please feel free, as questions arise, just post those in the Q&A and we are happy to answer.
Yeah, and this is just a quick snapshot of the courses that are in the program. I'm not going to go into a lot of details about it, but I just wanted to highlight, sort of the thread of STEM, starting with STEM and then finishing up with a STEM course. And then knowing that in the fall and spring that Green highlighted, you'll be in an internship, which means you'll be in a school 4 days a week with a mentor teacher, learning and practicing and getting feedback on how to, hone your craft. And then as connected to the internship, there's a seminar. So we meet every Wednesday on campus to sort of debrief about what's happening and sort of problem solve and plan for the future. So the internship goes across 2 semesters. While you're doing your internship, you're also taking the methods classes. So that's the place where you're learning about how to teach math and then going in and trying it in your internship. So as Camille mentioned, there's a strong connection between what you're learning in your classes and then what you're practicing. There's also a strong focus on social justice. If you look at the blue highlighted, you'll see that there's 2 courses. One is issues of social justice, and the other is a course focused just on environmental justice. So that's another important thread that we emphasize in the program. And then last, I'll mention that there are 2 literacy classes that are required by the state of Maryland, so that everybody who teaches can help students you learn the skills they need to be able to access the information in their courses. So just a quick snapshot. And then this again is another snapshot of the 5 years. I hope this is helpful for you to see that the first year is you'll be in your internship. You'll get coaching while you're in that internship called instructional coaching. So somebody would come and visit you from the university and sort of meet with you every couple of weeks. You also have your mentor teacher in your classroom who's coaching you, and then you'll be taking your coursework. When you move into the second year, that's when you get hired. You're no longer at the university. Your courses have ended. You'll be teaching full time. And again, there'll be coaching provided by the program, and you'll be, moving into your teacher development stage. And then as the years go, it's very similar that we sort of, follow that same model that as you're growing in those first years, we are still there as needed for coaching. We'd like to think of that as very personalized coaching. So depending on where you are in your development, you would be working with somebody, periodically that would come and visit. And then we'll have meetings on campus. We really have in mind that anybody that's interested in national board certification, which is sort of the highest level of achievement for educators, that you would work toward that. And then that would be part of what we do together when we come together for those professional development meetings across year 4 and 5. So it sounds like we get to know each other really well. If you're in this program, it's a 5-year together and, sort of, you'll be with your cohort, you'll meet cohorts that are before you and behind you. You'll be able to, serve as mentors in some ways to the cohorts that follow you. So, in our minds, it's going to be a good, exciting 5 years together.
Thank you, Dr. Bedio-Farrell. Some more questions came in. So can you talk a little bit about what the difference is between residency and SPC1 teacher? And then also, what is capstone?
Yes, so in Baltimore City, because once you're finished and you have your certification, your first 2 years, you're considered a resident teacher. It's just a classification that you're given. And then once you've had 2 successful years in the classroom, you move to a standard professional certificate. So it's sort of a timeline that Baltimore City has developed specific to their school system. And as you move across the years, your salary increases. And I don't have all the details on the salary, but and then once you're at year 4, the standard professional, that's sort of like you've reached the sort of the goal that you have your standard professional certificate. And what was the other question was?
Capstone. What is
Yeah,
capstone?
so the capstone is a project that where you're looking at your own work in your classroom and doing some, a sort of a study of your growth and your sort of your own, you identify an issue in your own classroom that you study. And that's part of, as we come together each month to meet in those out years, where you would be talking about, this area of concern that you have that you're sort of addressing as a teacher. So it's a project, it's not for credit, it's part of the professional development piece.
Thank you. And another question, which I'll kind of talk about as far as the funding piece. So the question is, are the internships paid or are they not paid? So as far as what I'll say the funding piece. So I'm going to hyper simplify everything, but to kind of break down, the contractual agreement. So essentially, as a student coming into this program, you are contractually agreeing to the 5 years of this program and placement, year 1 being with us at Hopkins. And as you see, going through the internship, and then years 2 through 5 being a teacher of residence in a Baltimore City school district. So 5 years total. For your, agreement to that 5-year total commitment between us at Hopkins for your degree and Baltimore City Public Schools, for that 5-year commitment and agreement, your first year, your tuition and fees are covered through funding from Baltimore City Schools, the National Science Foundation, and a few other funding sources that we've received. So your tuition and fees is covered. And then there's also that living stipend that Dr. Mary Ellen Bedio-Farrell had mentioned. So currently it's a $10,000 living stipend, and there is talks and work to look to increase that potentially, depending on, again, funding sources, but guaranteed for sure $10,000 for that first year. Then looking at the rest of this chart, years 2 through 5, you are the teacher of residence. So you are receiving a paycheck as a teacher from Baltimore City Schools from years 2 through 5. And correct me if I'm wrong, Dr. Bedio-Farrell, am I remembering it's $63,000 as a starting teacher in Baltimore City?
Yeah, yeah, I always say it's around 60, but it's at least 60. Yeah.
So
Yeah.
you're paid around 60,000. So essentially your first year, you receive a $10,000 living stipend plus the tuition and fees benefit. And then years 2 through 5, you're receiving a paycheck from Baltimore City as a teacher of residence. So again, just to kind of hyper simplify and give an overview of kind of what that contract looks like, for you agreeing to 5 years and then what you're receiving. Let's see, follow up. Is the $10,000 living stipend separate from the Robert Noyce grant?
Yes, separate. Yes. So everyone that applies and gets accepted gets at least 10. We hope it will be more. But if you also qualify for the Noyce, you get another 10. So you at least have 20 if you qualify for Noyce.
Thank you.
And I think as the year progresses, any changes that happen, any updates, they are all available they will be available on the website.
Thank you. Thank you. Thank you. Feel free to continue asking questions. I know we have about 6 minutes left. Happy to transition and chat a little bit about the admissions process, share more about funding and financial aid. But if you do have any questions, feel free to put those in the Q&A. Before I kind of jump in and take over, Dr. Badio-Farrell, was there anything else that you wanted to share, before I jump in and go from there in the last 6 minutes?
I just wanted to mention on this slide, we sort of pride ourselves on support to even as you start to apply. So we do have someone who works with James, and she's our recruitment coordinator, Katie Wilson. Once you start the application process, she'll be in touch, and she works closely with individuals to help them through the application process. So I think that's really important to note. The other thing is we have a financial aid expert that's available with the program, who really, same thing from the beginning through the time you're here, will work with you on making sure, we call it, that you work toward being financially well. So it's another piece of the wellness component of the program. So I just wanted to mention those two things.
Thank you. Thank you. Thank you. Yes, support from beginning to end is really at the core of this program. And I think that reflects on just the School of Education at large. I always stress to students, you are never, ever going through this process alone. And that being said, as I mentioned before, for many of you, we've connected already via a 30-minute Zoom session. And if we haven't, I would love to get connected with you after today. Following this presentation, I'll be sending out a follow-up, and you'll be able to schedule a 30-minute Zoom session with me. It's one-on-one, and I'm happy to connect with you if we haven't connected already, or even if we have and you have more follow-up questions. Again, support is important, and you are never, ever going through this process alone. Between myself, our colleague Katie, Dr. Badio-Farrell, and many, many more colleagues and staff members here at the School of Education, we're here to help support and assist you through this entire process. Just very quick overview as far as the application. So you can see the requirements to apply. They're listed here on the screen. The application for the summer 2025 cohort is active and live. So you can begin the application process now. We are receiving applications all the way up through April 30th. This program is a rolling admissions process. So the sooner you apply, the sooner we respond back as far as reviewing your application to get you an admissions decision. We review on a rolling basis, and generally after you submit an application, I'd say within a week to 2 weeks, you have a response from us. So we try to keep the process rolling as much as possible. So do not wait until April 30th, 2025 to apply. You can start that process now. And I encourage students, now is honestly the best time, because you apply, you get everything in and done before the holidays kick in a few weeks here, and have all that information behind you. Great question. As far as an application code, so feel free to reach out directly, to myself or someone in our office to assist as far as the $80 application fee. There isn't any specific code, but just reach out and say that you've worked with us through, you've attended a virtual information session, and happy to assist with that $80 application fee as applying. Great questions. I put in the chat earlier about submitting the pre-application transcript review. That is really just sort of a first step, just to make sure that you have STEM experiences in some capacity. You've taken some level of STEM coursework, you have some background in STEM before applying to this program. And I also want to share that the official transcripts are sent from your home institution directly to us. So those have to come from institution to institution. As a student, we do not accept unofficial transcripts for your application. Those would be ones that you would send to us. So it has to come from the home institution to us. You'll also submit a general essay, just talking a little bit about your passion and interest in our program, and you'll submit 2 letters of recommendation. Those can either be professional or academic recommenders that write those letters for you. There is a brief virtual interview, which is done with Dr. Beatty O'Farrell. So now that all of you have connected with her today through this process, you have a good point of contact for what that experience will be like. So just a general overview of admission requirements. I see that we have a question in the chat. I'm going to just try to finish the slides quick, and then I'll answer your question at the very end, Roger. But thank you for submitting that. So again, as we had mentioned, this program is designed specifically for individuals that have some level of a background in STEM, that are looking to pursue becoming a STEM educator. You also must be a U.S. citizen or permanent resident. Unfortunately, this program is not open to accepting applications for international students, again, due to the funding and teacher certification components. And it's for students that are prepared to be in a full-time residential master's degree located on the Johns Hopkins Homewood campus in Baltimore, Maryland. Tuition and fees, we have to show this slide to kind of talk through the cost per credit. But again, keep in mind, as a student starting this program, you're signing a contract and agreement saying, I'm pledging to the 5-year total agreement for both a master's degree with us at Hopkins and also the teaching component through Baltimore City Schools, which gives full tuition and fee support through that program. So again, we have to show the cost, but really what I just said is highlighted on the screen. So probably should have advanced my slides a little bit quicker with, again, the benefits that we've discussed. I always encourage students to also submit the FAFSA, free application for federal student aid. The vast majority of our students are submitting a FAFSA and also looking for other options for funding. We have a whole website on our webpage listed for external funding sources, external scholarships, that's broken down by month for when those applications are due. So highly recommend looking for that as well. And as Dr. Beatty O'Farrell had shared, we have 2 individuals in our financial aid department that are here to help support and assist through that process. So we are happy to get you connected with them as well. As I promised here on the last slide, I have contact information for myself in the admissions office. I'm happy to forward any messages along to Dr. Beatty O'Farrell as far as questions, things that we've talked about. But you have my contact information listed here. I am the admissions point of contact for the TeachingWell degree. So just reaching out through this general email, any student that's interested in the TeachingWell program will be funneled to me. So happy to connect and work with everyone. So tried to wrap that up as quickly as possible. And now jumping in with questions with the last few minutes that we have. Roger asks, would there be any assistance with paying for the registration fees for the praxis? Would TeachingWell provide support in pursuing the national board certification, study material, cohort of people pursuing the certification, etc.?
I can answer the first question, but I don't have an answer for the second. We have not made a decision on the second one, but on the first one, we do cover this year, all praxis tests fees are covered. And we would plan to do that for next year as well.
Thank you. Thank you.
Mm-hmm.
Great question, Roger. If anyone has any other questions, as we've shared through this whole presentation, please feel free to utilize the Q&A and post those. Dr. Beatty O'Farrell and I will wait, a couple minutes here. So you're very welcome, Roger. We will wait a few minutes just to see if any other questions pop up. But just, for closing, if you don't have any final questions, it has been a pleasure being here with all of you today to chat a little bit about Johns Hopkins, the School of Education, and our TeachingWell program. As you can see, we are very excited about, this new program as it develops and unfolds each year. And my hope is that, the common message of that theme of support, as I've said multiple times, we are here to support you through this entire process, from admissions, current student, even as an alum. There is a strong sense of community within the TeachingWell program. And even as an alum looking to come back, we want to keep students connected after they're finished with us. So know that you were never going through this alone. You were always going to be supported. And anything that my team can do, or any of us, we are here to support you through this whole process. Oh, thank you. Roger shared, thank you for hosting today. Great insight into the full elements of the program. Thank you so much, Roger. Again, it was a pleasure to see so many familiar names here attending this session today. And like I said, please stay connected. I look forward to chatting more. Thank you again for all of the warm words that all of you are sharing in the Q&A. We appreciate it. And again, we're here to support you through every step of this journey. Again, we will hang on for a minute or two here just to see if any other questions come up. But if not, thank you so much to everybody. We appreciate you being here with us today. We look forward to continuing this conversation. And I would be remiss without sharing, we will have more virtual programs for the TeachingWell program. So we'll have some virtual information sessions focused around a Q&A with current students and faculty members. There'll be another option that kind of delves deeper into that experience as a student. And we have some other ideas. So we want you to stay connected. Feel free to attend future events as well. Again, I cannot hit that point home enough today. We are here to help and support as much as possible.
Yeah, thank you, James.
You're welcome. Anything else to wrap things up today, Dr. Beatty-O'Farrell?
No, it's just always good to be with you, and just having all these questions is just wonderful. I've got some work to do, I think, after the session, and some more things to think about. So thank you, everyone.
Yes, thank you. It's been a pleasure, everyone. Thank you so much. Have a great rest of your day. Enjoy the rest of your week, and I look forward to chatting again soon. Take care, everyone.